Alright guys, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to this week's vlog. If I sound a little congested, it's because I am. I have a head cold, which I am unhappy that I have, but at least it's not COVID. I'm heading to the barn now. I'm gonna work on the exercise that I mentioned in one of the reels that I did, which is basically 2 poles about 60 feet apart. You work on transitions, so you walk in, trot out, trot in, walk out, and then the same thing at the trot and the canter. Trot in, canter out, canter in, trot out, and then of course building on that to the point where you can either do collected like 6 strides, 5 strides, 4 strides, and just kind of work on that kind of stuff. I've been doing this exercise with Happy this entire week, and it's been a real like brain game for both of us. It's been very, very difficult and frustrating. So I'm curious to see how I'll go today, because this will be the 3rd time that I've worked on this with him, and it's definitely, last time was better, but we were really still struggling with figuring out how to get through the exercise correctly. So I'm going to try to work on that today. I'm hoping that I can set the poles up and do all of that, because it's been a really fun but challenging exercise and I want to share it with you guys. And then big change of putting mats in his stall for the winter time. So the winter is coming. It gets rainy here. I've been told it gets very, very rainy and gross. So you'll see a change. Basically, my husband and I went out and covered the entire thing in mats, except for the back part that's covered by a shelter. And now he has a nice fluffy bed. At least he did yesterday when I left. Who knows what it looks like now. But anyways, I am on my way out there now, and I will see you guys when I get there. Alright guys, I'm at the barn, finished all of my chores. There's stranger danger out here, but I'm doing this anyways. So this is Happy's new paddock. Here's Happy. Gonna beg for cookies. We basically moved the 2 rows of mats that were back here, like where the bedding and stuff is now, forward, and then I purchased, do not mug me, I purchased 2 more rows. So he has 4 rows of mats, and then it will all cover that area that is going to get muddy. Can you stop? He said, where are the rest of the treats? My bracelets are not treats. So anyways, let me get him out of here and get him tacked up, but let me just really quickly do a video the other way around so you can see it a little better. Okay, so sorry. So there are the mats, and then he has bedding back here now. Oh, he's going to be grumpy because I'm away. But yeah, so basically that and that were back here, and then I bought 2 more rows to put up there where it's going to actually get the worst. And it has been getting kind of gross with his pee and like the little bit of rain that we had. So now his stall is much drier. He has an actual bed to sleep on, which I don't think he really minded before, but now that it's getting wet here, he was kind of, I think, getting a little irritated that he didn't have a real dry place to sleep, and I don't blame him. And then, yeah, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm hoping that this back here will stay nice and dry. I know that this roof line basically covers everything, and there's only like small little leaks, so I don't imagine it's going to get super wet, but we'll tackle that if it does happen. But yeah, so this is his stall now. All right, he's ready. He's doing his lip chain biting. Yes, we learned about that. We saw a reel about that, huh? Yes, we did. We saw a reel of them doing that on the track. I'll explain it later in a voiceover. Anyways, we're ready to go. He's raring to go. He's so excited to work on this exercise for the 3rd time. He said he can't even contain his excitement. Huh? Can't even contain it. Okay, let's go. Alright, well, normally he has a couple little sneezes and coughs, but that was quite excessive, and I do feel like his barn mate may be a little bit sick, or the new horse that just moved in may have brought a bug with him. Otherwise, he seems fine. He's just had like a little bit of like sneezing and coughing that has come up a little bit as we ride, but not too bad. But I wanted to mention that that's not normal for him, but he didn't seem sick and didn't have a temperature on this day, so I think he just had a little bug. He's feeling fine now. Alright, I know my reins are a little long, I do collect them here, but I was just doing his stretchy warm-up trot, and I wanted to take him through the exercise and do the trot to walk transition and then the walk back to trot transition. So I did get yelled at in my lesson today, well, not yelled at, but told to shorten my reins more, so even this is a little too long, but at least they're shorter than before. So this was the start of the exercise. These are the two poles, set them 60 feet apart. I put the two like cone and then the little jump standard there so that we both could visualize it a little better, because when we did this last time with the natural color poles and the sand, it just was hard for us to see them. And then I'll spare you the boring details of walking around the arena, but we walk around the arena until we get back, and then I ask for trot again. And this was pretty easy. I didn't have very many issues with this, and I was very happy with how he adapted pretty quickly to picking up the trot and going over the pole without falling over it, or like kind of like jumping up in the front end. He did it a little bit that time, but like he usually would like kind of like jump over the pole. So I'm glad that he was able to do that and not actually jump, but kind of step over the pole like a normal movement like you're supposed to do. So we continue to do this to the trot, and then I'm pretty sure the next step I do is I canter around the arena and get him warmed up at the canter, but I thought, why not do the boring stuff first while we're doing our warm-up, because this really isn't that hard for him to do these transitions. But yeah, this is the beginning of the exercise, and then we do a little bit more as he gets more warmed up. Okay, and that was our right lead, really actually coming along super nicely. And I do have some issues getting to the first pole. At times I don't see distances super well, but I also feel like I came out of that corner a little disorganized, a little bit long, and really should have had my reins a little shorter and had him a little bit more collected and ready for that pole. So that was why we split it and then switch leads. But I figured I would rather split it, switch leads, keep cantering over it, and then come back again as opposed to stopping him in the middle of the exercise. So that's what we did, and I think he did really, really well that way. We do come back and do the right lead again, and I try to get different striding in between the poles, but now we're going to move on to the left lead and just start working on the same exercise to the left. Alright, and with the trot in, canter out, we picked up the wrong lead both directions, both times. I make mention of this in my after ride recap, but I do think we need to start working on getting him to pick up his lead based off of the bend. I realized doing this that I think he's picking up his lead based off of the fence, and that's not obviously going to work very well for us in the future. And I don't think I've ever worked on him actually picking up the right or the correct canter lead off of the rail, so we're going to start working on that. But he got it eventually. I just kept pushing him into that counter canter around that corner and then coming back and then exaggerating my bend and my ask for that right lead, and he got it. And then he does the same thing when we go to the right or to the left. Wow, I'm getting confused. But we just worked on it, and he ended up getting it correct at the end of the whole exercise. And then I worked on getting him to get this 5 stride here. It was very hard for me to get the 5 stride to the left. Really hard for me to get 6 strides to the right. So just interesting differences and things that we'll definitely work on in the future. and in different rides that we're doing. But he's really picking up on this, and I think after like doing this a couple of times, he finally figured it out. Oh, and here I just clearly just dropped him at that pole. And so he was pacing, and I was like, you know what, let's just stop, because it's not, that was my fault. Started again, didn't have that issue ever again. So he was just doing really good, focusing really well, and trying his best at this exercise, which I can't say he really did the other 2 times that we did this, but I'm glad and I'm happy with him. So I haven't watched the video, obviously, because I just got done, but everything felt so much better today than it has the past 2 times that we worked on this. Last time was a freaking nightmare, so I'm so much gladder. I'm so much happier that today went better. He was on fire both ways, cantering, the extensions felt really good. He didn't really want to extend to the left, which I thought was strange, but it was fine. We worked on that a little bit through the poles, as you saw. Wanted to pick up the wrong lead. He was doing that the last time I did this exercise, so I think it's high time that we start doing leads, picking up canter leads not on the rail, because I think he doesn't understand I think he uses the rail to understand which lead to pick up, and he's not quite actually getting it based off of my bend or anything else. So that's definitely something that we'll start working on that came up through this. But it was a really hard exercise, and it's something that I didn't think was going to be hard at all. So I definitely encourage you guys to try it with your horses, because I'll leave the link in the description so you guys can like read the article and then set it up and try it. I'd really be curious to see if you guys enjoy it or if it's as difficult for you as it was for me. I think it made me realize that a lot of my cues for him, especially within the transition upward, are a little bit, the timing isn't right. I feel like my seat aids plus my leg aids plus my rein aids just aren't all together and aren't all there, and it's leading to him to have some confusion. Oh my gosh, this is like the world's worst cooling out walk. But otherwise, it was a really good exercise. Really glad I did it. Really glad that I stuck to it and didn't give up after that horrific ride I had on, I think, Thursday doing it. But yeah, I'm gonna cool out now, and then I will catch up with you guys when I give him his post-ride treats. As we're cooling out, there is a rainbow. Look at how beautiful that is. I actually noticed it when we were coming around doing this to the left. But yeah, really good boy today. Really easy ride today, honestly. No complaints. No complaints. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. Back in Happy Stall, giving him his final treats. Get them out of my bag. He did great today. We have a lesson this week, so I'll definitely film that, and hopefully we get some good footage from that I can share. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching this week. I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye!